Hey everyone, my name is Adi. In today's tutorial we will learn how to paint in oil colors in 5 different techniques. For this video you will need your oil color equipment. I made a whole video dedicated to the materials you need for oil painting. I cut pieces of hard cover of sketchbook, sketchpad and painted over them with gesso, so it will feel like painting on a board. You can also use canvas pad and divide it into squares with masking tape. Wet into wet. Just like the name suggests, we will paint with wet paint over wet paint. First, let's cover all the space with paint. When covering a big area, use a big brush. Now, let's apply another color. The more times you go over the same place with the brush, the more the new paint will blend in. It can fade in completely. So if you want to add a color, and you want this color to be strong, then it's better to use one brush stroke. If you want the white to stay white, then touch the place only once. As long as the color is wet, you can add paint to it, and what you add will become part of it. You will get a soft transition between the colors. Oil colors dry slower than acrylic. They are more suited to wet into wet technique. Blending soft edges. Wet into wet can be hard to control in certain cases, so if you want to blend two colors with precision, it might be better to paint over a dry space. Paint a base layer and let it dry. Then create a section for each color. I use a different brush for each color. Because the color underneath is dry, what I paint now can't fade into the base layer. After the different sections are done, use another brush to blend the connection between the two colors. Wipe off extra paint from the blending brush. You can use this technique to make softer transition between objects, so they will not look like you cut one thing and glued it over another. Dry brush. For this technique too, paint a base layer and let it dry. I painted the base layer in two colors on purpose, because we will see them through the new layer. Use a little bit of paint on your brush and move the brush in circles. When painting with wet into wet technique, after the color dried, you have to paint over to add or change things. Dry brush allows you to add to what you have painted or adjust what you have painted without hiding it. It's very important to use a little bit of paint so it will not cover what underneath it completely. You can use this technique to correct transitions, to make something more smooth. As you can see, the line between the yellow and the orange became less sharp after we went over it. You can use it for portraits to make the face smooth, to add improvements to the face. Face can be complicated to make in one go. Glazing. I painted the base layer with variation in color because the glazing technique used transparent color. And I wanted to show you that you can see what's underneath the glazing. With acrylic, watercolor, ink, gouache, you can use water to make the paint transparent. In oil color, you need to use oil or medium for that purpose. Use pipette bottle or dropper bottle to take the oil or medium out and drip it on your palette. Then mix it with the paint. If you use too much of the paint, it will not be transparent. If you use too much oil or medium, then it will drip down. It can become separated drops that won't connect with the paint. What you paint with glazing is an addition, so you have to paint what's underneath it first. I use glazing to paint things like glass, transparent fabric, etc. Impasto. In this technique, use a lot of paint and apply it to create volume. You can make the brush strokes visible and dominant. You can use a brush or a palette knife to create texture and to make the painting look like a relief. The paint looks like it comes out of the painting. It is embossed. Impasto creates a more expressive feeling. There are depth and movement in the layers of paint. You can create different textures in different parts of the painting. The great masters who used this technique use it in a very strategic and planned way. As long as the color is wet, you can adjust and reshape things. But just like the wet into wet technique, it's better not to touch the same place too much. With other techniques, if you are not happy with the result, you can just cover the painting with new paint and start over again. With impasto, if you are not happy with something, you might need to scrap it in order to get rid of the texture and then to start over. I hope that you enjoyed this video and that the explanations about the different techniques will be helpful to understand all colors a little better. Which technique is your favorite? I made a playlist for oil colors where you can find all the oil color tutorials in one place. You can let me know what else you would like to learn in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. See you soon. Bye bye.